And 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello everyone. Welcome to the Farmington Valley by Bicycle, the ride. My name's Ron Goralski, and I'm the property peddler, bicycle-friendly realtor. And what we like to do here on the Farmington Valley by Bike, well, we like to address several issues. We sometimes we'll just ride around and show neighborhoods and available properties and things like that. We can show up at events, local events, and as you'll see today, we're going to talk about bicycle safety. One of my, well, I have a couple positions in the town for bicycle advocacy. One is I'm the chair for Bicycle Friendly Farmington, BFF, and I'm also on a town committee, the Bicycle Advisory Committee. So bicycle advocacy is really high on my list as far as what I'm doing these days with my free time. Okay, so like I said, today we're going to talk about bike position on the roadways. This is East Shore Boulevard, relatively quiet road. Don't let that fool you though. Sometimes the most quiet roads can turn into a dangerous situation. Now, what you don't want to do is be far to the right-hand side. You don't want to be up against the curb like this. Because first of all, and I'm sure this has happened to some of you out there, your pedal can easily come down in that curb. And if that happens, you're probably going to go down as well. The other thing is you're not going to be as visible to traffic. And another thing is that, and this is mostly when there's a yellow line down the middle of the road, cars are gonna think that they can share the road with you, meaning share the lane with you. And there's just not enough room here. Not enough room for a cyclist and an automobile to be in the same lane if this road were cut in half. So you want the car to have to go around you to give you the 3 feet that you're allowed by law since 2007 or 2008. 3 feet. Must be allowed 3 feet. Here's a stop sign. We're going to stop. We're going to come to the middle of the lane, more toward the left, because I'm going to be turning left. Again, let's talk about the stop signs a little bit. You do not want to position yourself to the far right of the lane at a stop sign, even if you're going right. Because, again, you don't want that car to cut you off. You don't want that car to be so close to you. And maybe even forget that you're there. It's much safer if you, what I call, take the lane. If you take that lane and you position yourself as the lead vehicle, in this case a bike, then everything waits for you. And that's a good thing when you're on a bike. It's predictable. And hopefully with enough informational videos or seminars or whatever, however we're going to get the word out, hopefully after a while it just becomes the norm. There we go, Farmington bicycle friendly. Now notice these cars, how they are passing me, but they're doing so by riding over the double yellow line. And you know what? They can do that. Law was passed 2 or 3 years ago where a car can cross the double yellow line in order to give a cyclist proper spacing. Now, being here in Farmington, where we have hit our first target of being bike friendly, the bronze level, and because of the bike path that we have that goes completely through town, people are becoming accustomed to seeing bicycles more and more. Now here I am on a busier road where we have the double yellow line and we have what we call the shoulder, the fog line, the white line. Now, don't be led to think that you as a cyclist have to stay inside the white line to the right of it. Because you don't. That's not why it's there. It has nothing to do with a cyclist unless it's, I believe, 4 feet wide and there are little bicycles painted on the ground that say bike lane. Then that's your bike lane. But we don't have many of those around here, if any, that I can think of. I know we don't in Farmington. So again, you want to be seen. If you're too far to the right, cars are going to assume that it's okay to be in the same lane as you are in, no matter how close they are to you. You can see I'm just to the left of this lane. And I apologize for being out of breath. Now that was way too close. Way too close, way too intimidating, and probably done on purpose. Yeah. So that's what cyclist is up against sometimes. So anyway, you don't want to be too far to the right, because that's where most of your debris ends up. Broken glass, limbs, tree limbs, broken pavement, includes potholes, dead animals even, nails, and as you can see here, gutters. Now as it opens up here, you know, I feel like I have enough room here. I'm good, but you see a light coming up now. I'm going to be turning left at the light. So I want to position myself in the lane. Remember, I don't want to stay to the right. Even if I were going right, I'd want to be in the middle of the lane to take the right. I'm checking behind me. It's safe. I'm signaling. I'm going to take my place in the lane of traffic. In this case, it's just one car, but of course I'm going to give myself enough room. I mean, in case, you know, car rolls back a little. Or now some of the safety features I ride with, I usually try to ride with a bright day glow type top, vest, jacket, jersey, whatever. I also have a one of those wrist slap bracelets. That's what I want to say. But mine's around my ankle, because as you're pedaling and your feet go up and down, then it's pretty easy to notice. Taking my left, no one behind me. Now here I am. Oh, my other safety items, I've got a flashing headlight, a flashing tail light, and for me, my most important ally is my rear view mirror. In fact, I find that I'm not comfortable without a rear view mirror. So this is 177. If I were to stay too far to the right, especially with this line of traffic, cars would try to squeeze by me, which is going to happen right now. And actually the car waited. So I like to give a little wave. Thank you. Because they're probably a little frustrated. They have no reason to be frustrated, but let them know you appreciate it. Let them know that you're just not out there carelessly. That was your plan, and you appreciate the courtesy. And I'm getting more than 3 feet here on my left with these cars, even though they're not passing over the yellow lane. Funny though, it's funny how cyclists are often chastised, or people like to complain about cyclists. And you know what? A lot of cyclists they bring that upon themselves in many instances. Now look where I am. Perfect example of chopped up pavement, right where most people would tell you where you have to ride your bike. But no, you see where I am here. I've got part of this lane. It's easy to lose my train of thought when I'm jumping from subject to subject here. See how it works? Now, if I were way to the right, it would be a different story. Also, by being in the position that I'm in, I'm probably not going to have to weave in and out of this white line to avoid hazards on the side of the road. And this lane, where the cars are passing me, you know, happens to be quite wide. It could actually go on a road diet, and there could be a wider shoulder here. But that's up to the state. This is a state road. The town has nothing to do with that. Although we can make suggestions. So again, this is going to be a very good example coming up as we descent the hill here, because the road is in terrible shape, well, except for this little patch. And really, you cannot win here, because when I say it's beat up, you can see it's beat up on both sides of the road. You have gravel and and stuff on the right side, and you've got broken up pavement on the left. So I'm kind of just picking my smoothest spot to come through here. Yet I'm not tucked away to the side. And as we head down into Unionville now, you know, I'm really not going to be holding anyone up because sooner or later they're going to have to wait for a light anyway. And that's the point I was going to make, is how no one complains when there's a mail truck, and now I've got traffic behind me. I'm going to give a little wave so they know I'm going to take the lane here. But there's no way I'm gonna ride on the side of these cars, because I don't know who's turning. I don't know who's looking over to see if I'm there or not. And then we have the bridge coming up, and I know the pavement on the bridge is just as bad. Wasn't paying attention there for a second. I was saying hi to the riders. So again, see, anyone who had to wait behind me, they weren't going to make this light anyhow. So getting back to drivers being frustrated with having to wait to pass. So, you know, how many times do you see a landscaping trailer and cars wait until there's no oncoming traffic and then they pass? Same thing with a mail truck. You know, you wait, you don't get within 2 inches of the mail truck, I would hope. You wait patiently and you pass. And it should be the same thing with a cyclist. Now, the law actually says that the cyclist only needs to be as far right as he or she deems safe. You know, not how the car feels or how the police officer feels, but how the cyclist feels is safe. And I'm right in the middle here. If I'm going to be taking a left-hand turn, if I was on the right, I would have to cross over and take a left and probably cut through traffic. I'm waving to let them know that I appreciate it. Thanks for your patience. And I happen to know I'll be getting a turn arrow here. Now, Unionville can be tricky because if you have to go straight through here and then you have to make your way left, if you were going to make a left-handed turn, and we'll do that at some point. So now we're on Mill, which has gotten a really nice makeover from where it was a year ago. They've done a nice job down here, but I just noticed the businesses will be closing down. So again here, especially where you're going to have cars parked, these are parking areas, and this isn't cool right here. Dude, not good road positioning. So you do not want to ride too closely to these cars because you can be doored. That's when someone is not looking, opens their car door, and you become part of that person or part of that door. I have someone behind me. I'm going to be going left up here. I'm going to keep the lane because I'm not really holding them up. It's not like I have 5 people behind me. I'm going to signal left. I'm going to give a little wave. What does the wave do? Again, it just lets them know that you're not out here being a jerk, which is how we're looked at by a lot of motorists. Coming up to the next stop sign, same thing. I'm letting them know that I'm coming over to the lane here. I'm gonna come to my complete stop, because that also gains respect. Not blowing through the stop signs. I'm in no hurry either. And now they'll pass. there's no one up in front. And that's how it should work. And again, another road with no center line. And a pretty high curb to the right. So you don't want to be too close to that. Because if you either hit that with your pedal or your tire, your front wheel, you're probably going over. Now this road happens to have some nice, some street or road calming. Have a speed hump here. Hopefully to slow down traffic. I believe there's one more up here. And I'm basically in the middle of this lane. Because not as much when a single car comes that they're going to get too close to you, but if they have a car coming up the road toward me as one is now, and one is trying to pass me, yeah, a lot of times they're both going to try to squeeze through. And that's happened to me so many times. If a car behind me now, remember, you want to leave plenty of room for an unexpected door to open. And I'm gonna head up to Route 4 here. Again, I'm still in the lane. So I'm gonna be taking a left. I'm gonna wave so I don't get too impatient. And to let them know I appreciate it. And I'm gonna take a left here. And probably just as I put my foot down, it's gonna turn green. Or we missed it completely. Now the road up here is just awful. So when I take this left, you know, I really have no choice but to take the lane. Because if you can see right there, those are narrow lanes. And for me to ride on the side, which you'll see how beat up it is, you don't want to be rolling over the things that are on the side of the road there. So I'm going to have to take the middle of the lane. I'm going to be going to the bike path, so it's not going to really be for too long of an amount of time. That's the only car behind me, so I'm going to actually wave them past me as I come up here. And you'll see now, I'm going to pull up a little bit, I'm going to wave them by. Didn't endanger me a bit. And I probably made a couple of friends there. So again, I'm not completely in the middle of the road here, but I'm out enough where I'm not going to get squeezed, hopefully. And you can see, look at the glass, the pavement, this is awful. And did that car come a little close? Yeah. So would I blame you for riding in the middle of the lane here? No. Well, I hope some of those tips help you out a little bit. I don't want this to go too long. You're probably already bored. Now this is beautiful here. I would ride inside of here. And as a matter of fact, all the way to Collinsville, it's probably this wide or wider, so. This is a beautiful stretch up here. And we'll talk more as we add more videos. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to pay attention here. Taking a right-hand turn. Love to see it crowded here. Although it would be nice if more people were able to ride safely from their houses to the bike path. But that's another thing we're working on at Bike Friendly Farmington, trying to make safe routes from neighborhoods to bike trails. So that way you can leave the car home. All right, so again, I'm Ron Goralski. I'm the property peddler, bicycle friendly realtor. And until next time, have a safe ride.